Today, I'm going to give you guys a speech on a wealthy state of mind, right? So we want you to always think about how can you improve yourself and improve your life financially, okay? So before I get started, I first want to thank Walter Island, Kobe White, and Aaron DuBose, and the 100 Black Men of Syracuse for having me here today. I actually had the luxury of planning this event with Kobe, and what I learned from Kobe is that he knows everything there is to know about insurance, and his wife knows everything there is to know about hair care as well as skin care, being that she owns her own hair care company and owns skin care company. And you young men and ladies are here, you young men and ladies are here today because you have potential, your parents see it, and you see it. And with potential, you could become great. Good to great. So I want you guys to remember that in life, you should always strive for greatness, okay? And I don't want you to ever think that you cannot become great. And one of the paths to becoming great is through building wealth. But in order for you to have wealth, first you have to understand what wealth is, right? And how to build wealth. So wealth in essence, and a lot of people have different definitions of wealth, but my definition of wealth is the resources you own and control to generate an ongoing cycle of income. It can be acquired through inheritance. So, you know, if you have someone in your family pass away and they leave you a lump sum of money, property, a business. And also, you can generate wealth through someone's labor. So typically, if you have a business, you know, you pay people, but you're profiting from their labor. So you would know you have wealth based off of three things. When you own it, control it, and pass it down. And throughout the speech, you guys are going to see that come up. I'm going to talk about owning, controlling, and passing things down, okay? So how does one have a wealthy state of mind? A wealthy state of mind starts when you realize that every decision you make in life is a financial decision, okay? So now I want you guys, every day you wake up, to think about financial decisions that you're making, okay? So from the moment you wake, and even in your sleep, you're going to be making financial decisions, right? So you're probably asking yourself, well, how am I making financial decisions when I sleep? There are lots of people, rich people, who make money when they're sleeping. They make money every second, every minute of the day, right? Would you like to be able to do that, make money while you're sleeping? While you're sleeping? Okay, me too. So your decision to make good grades in school is even a financial decision. Who makes good grades in school? Okay. Well, you're probably asking, well, how can that make you money? Well, eventually, your good grades are going to lead to scholarships, right? And scholarships reduce the cost of education. And do you guys know how much it costs to go to school in college, minimum 4 years? Yeah, thousands of dollars. So pretty much the minimum education you get from public education is $36,000 for 4 years. That's probably the minimum you're going to get. Okay, that's without having scholarships and everything. Okay, and with that, you know, education is very expensive. So if you think about it, $36,000, $50,000. Some people pay $100,000, $200,000 to go to school. Right? Yeah, I saw your eyes. So $200,000, that costs you an arm and leg, won't it? Yeah, pretty expensive. So the second part of having a wealthy state of mind focuses on your ability to create businesses and recognize opportunities. And Kobe touched on that briefly. So even at your age, I want you guys to understand that you can become business owners, right? You can become millionaires. All right? And so with that, have any of you guys ever heard of Malika Umar? Anything ring a bell? She is a 11-year-old millionaire. She created a product called Be Sweet Lemonade. Okay? Okay, so she just recently signed a deal with Whole Foods. It's a grocery store food chain. And she got paid $11 million. And now her product is available in over 55 Whole Food stores nationwide. Okay, so, and actually she started the company at 7. But now at the age of 11, she just signed a $11 million deal. Okay? So I don't want you guys thinking that you're too young to be a business owner. Okay? The final piece to having a wealthy state of mind is to create generational wealth. So not only do you want to plan ahead for your life, you also want to plan ahead for the generations to come. Okay? And this happens when you own your own business, control your own business, and can pass it down. Okay? So growing up, I didn't have opportunities such as this event to learn about wealth. My financial advisors were Lifestyles and the Rich and Famous by Robin Leach and MTV Cribs, right? So you're laughing, right? So I'm telling you the truth. So these shows no longer come on TV, but they will give you a glimpse of how the wealthy become wealthy. So whenever I was watching the show and the guests came on and they were, showing all their cars, houses, and how they lived, if they had something that I felt like I wanted, I would then go to the library and I would do research on their background. I would find out where they went to school, what was their major, and the businesses they own, right? Because typically, if you want to have something that someone else has, you have to kind of replicate what they did, right? That's the easiest thing to do. So with that being said, as you guys can see, no one personally taught me about finances, right? I didn't have anyone in my life sitting me down telling you, hey, Anthony, you should do this, you should do that. So I was basically self-taught. I learned through observation and research. And you can too. The only thing you have to do is watch how those around you spend their money, right? Whether it be good or bad, those are learning experiences. So if you have some family members that you feel might not budget their money good, those are learning experiences. So you don't want to make those same mistakes. So at the age of 7, I actually had my first experience learning about the haves and have-nots. You guys know what haves and have-nots are? Okay, well, we'll get into it a little bit. So anyways, the haves and have-nots are pretty much like you might have a particular friend or family, and they might have a lot of nice things that you feel like your family members, your family doesn't have, right? So that's kind of a general definition. But like I said, at the age of 7, I had a real good friend. We were in elementary school, and his family was very generous to me. And I would spend a lot of time on the weekends at his house. His mom would often go shopping, and whenever she took Amir out for shopping, she would also buy me things as well. So she bought Amir some Jordans, she bought me some Jordans. She bought him a shirt, she bought me a shirt. And what I started to realize that there were some drastic differences between his family and my family. For one, his parents owned their own home. Mine's rented. They traveled a lot. We didn't. They always ate out. Like we always ate out at the most expensive restaurants. And my mom, she always cooked at home, right? So even at that young age, I could see those differences, right? And that definitely had an impact on me. So that situation attributed to my work ethic, right? And at the age of 15, I got my first job. Has anyone here ever worked in fast food? Anyone? Okay. Okay, so my first job was with McDonald's. Everybody familiar with McDonald's, right? So I definitely hated McDonald's. Okay? So when I started out, they had me cleaning nasty, filthy toilets, mopping the floors, picking up trash, flipping burgers, and dropping fries. Okay? So I didn't like that job. I stayed there for a while. And then shortly after that, I got a second job at the age of 16. And that job was with a company called Harris Teeter. It's a grocery store. So when I started that job out, it started out the same way again. They had me cleaning nasty, filthy toilets. I was out in the hot sun during the summer pushing grocery carts, sweating. And they had me clean up spills, right? So, but I had good work ethic. Good work ethic. And eventually, I upgraded to a cashier, and I was one of the top performing cashiers. So my managers continued to see my work performance, and eventually making $9.75 an hour. So this is back in 1997, and to be 17 years old making $9.75 an hour, that's some good money. So I was making about $360 a week. Now, my family wasn't well off, right? So we were you know, weren't the best financial situation. So I wasn't one of those kids that can get all the shoes and clothes I wanted, right? So once I got that money, my whole life just changed. Like whenever the new Jordans came out, I was at the store in the morning in line with everyone else, and it was nothing to buy anything about the shoes, clothes, video games, NBA Live, Mortal Kombat. Like I could just get anything I wanted. So, yeah, definitely. So I'm telling you that because I want you to understand that hard work pays off, and no matter how little the job is, it's definitely important, right? And anytime you're doing any job, you should do it to the best of your ability because you'll never know where that will lead you. So as you can see, I wasn't afraid to get my hands dirty, and I developed a good work ethic. So for many of you, or even all of you, wealth is something that is less likely that's going to be given to you. You know, you have to work for it. And a lot of that is with developing a great work ethic. And with that, my work ethic kind of also started when, well, my exposure to building wealth started at the age of 19. So I went off to college. I went to some state university, and my sophomore year, I had an internship at IBM. You guys remember IBM? So I was, information business machine. They used to have a lot of laptops, but now they're like a consulting company. Anyways, you can do the research. So I had an internship at IBM, and that summer, I noticed one of my coworkers on his monitor, it looked like he was watching the stock market, right? So I walked up to him, I said, hey man, what are you doing? And he said that he was day trading. So I asked what day trading was. He explained it to me. So I went back and I did some research on myself on day trading. And I noticed how it was a good way to make some money, start generating wealth. So the very next day, I got my money and I called E-Trade. And I opened up an account with E-Trade. So E-Trade is a brokerage company where you can trade stocks. So that moment changed my life forever, and I never looked back. So that was like one of the pivotal moments in my life when it comes to finances. And sometimes it takes pivotal moments like that in order for you to take your finances seriously. So I pray that today is your day that you're going to take your finances seriously and start planning for your future and kind of figure out how you want to become a millionaire. And with that, we're talking about time, right? So everything's going to take time. So one thing I want you guys to realize in this world is that you can always make more money, but you can never buy more time. Even the richest man, Warren Buffett, cannot buy more time, right? There's only 24 hours in a day, right? Okay? And most of the time, most people are probably up from, you probably wake up around 8 o'clock. You might go to sleep around 12 or 2 sometimes, right? So there's a large window when you're just sleeping and you can't really utilize that time, right? So I want to leave you guys with this last quote that is dear to my heart. And actually, you guys are going to get a copy of the quote. So the quote is, money isn't everything, but how you choose to spend it will determine how much of it you have left. Okay, remember that. Money isn't everything, but how you choose to spend it will determine how much of you have left. Thank you. Okay.